Well, howdy, physics sleuths and inquisitive souls, and welcome to Dynamic Gravity. So, as I'm sure all of you have been aware of now, there was an attack on Trump, an assassination attempt. And unfortunately, this episode, we're not going to dig into physics too much. We're going to go into something that's also equally important, God and religion. And my previous two videos on this, I think, make my stance pretty clear. One is in interpreting the 7 signs of Armageddon, which I believe have already occurred. The final one being the COVID virus released, and the first one being the HIV virus, which was released. Um, I actually, upon reading Revelations, found out some even more deeper insight going into that. So we'll touch upon that. Um, but it's important that we understand what's going on right now. We're living in vicarious times. And my other video, called The Great Tribulation, basically explains what happens after the final sign, which is COVID, has happened. And everything the Bible predicts that happens for the end days has actually happened. This Trump attack was actually in the Bible. It's actually one of the signs in Revelations. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. I misinterpreted it. I thought it was actually referring to Putin, but no, it's actually Trump. When I reread it, I realized I clumped two things together that shouldn't have been. I'm not perfect, not yet. I'm working on it though. But even though I'm not perfect and I suck and I make a lot of mistakes sometimes, I am still, beyond a doubt, the best person on the planet that you want to talk to and listen, talk about things like gravity, physics, religion, the afterlife, who and what God is, and what He wants from you, and the point of life, and basically everything. Everything that you've asked, but why, your whole life, and nobody could give you a straight answer. I am the guy. That's me. Hi. Hope I looked like what you thought I was. No, I'm not as tall. So, let's dig into it, shall we? Ah. Now, this is the King James Bible. All right, the oldest Bible, complete Bible, anyways. It's like around 1280 or something. King James, first attempt to make the Bible complete. So it's like the oldest, most historically kind of accurate Bible we kind of got in a lot of ways, but it's not necessarily the best. But I go to it usually when I'm making points because there's a lot of information in King James that's not in other ones because it gets taken out through interpretations and modern day sayings and this and that. Now, God is saying here, and I made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and blah, 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 and everything that creepeth. He's basically saying that beast, what beasts are in the eyes of God, is basically an animal, a mindless entity that only looks to serve its own purpose and agenda. Okay? This is the nature of a beast. It is a selfish thing. Even your dog is a beast. And, you might think, no, but my dog or cat is special. They love me. Yeah, stop feeding them and let your neighbor start feeding them and see how long they hang around you. It's not about love, it's about food, the nature of the beast. So, just to let you know, this is what God thinks of a beast. Now, we go into Revelations, right? And it starts to talk about the beast. And this is not actually animals. But the reason why he's calling this entity the beast is because it's the same thing in terms of how it behaves. A wild animal or any animal is an animal, not God. It is incapable of truly, truly pitting something else before its own interest. Even something like maternal instincts, like a mother elephant, protecting a baby elephant. You think right there, that's a godly thing to do. It's all brain chemistry because the elephant gets rewarded by keeping its babies alive and gets hits of dopamine. It's all self-serving at the end of the day, one way or another. So, okay, the devil that deceived them was cast into a lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and false prophet are. Now, if you have not watched my other two videos on Armageddon and the Great Tribulation, please do that. This is very important information in those videos. It will literally save your life and soul and eternal. It's very important. But we're going to piggyback on some of that information. So if you haven't seen it, you might get lost. You should probably go watch that now. It's important. I know it's long, but it's important. Okay, so the beast in Revelations, and what it's talking about, is not an animal, but the government. Whether that be world government, whether that be the four leading governments that lead the world, or whether that be any government in general that acts as an authority over figures, okay? And the reason why God calls the government the beast is because the government, if you look at it from an outside perspective, like from above, and you just see it where it doesn't affect you, what you see is this mindless entity, the government, which, yes, it has a lot of people in control of it, but remember the saying, none of us are as stupid as all of us. And that's basically saying the more people we get input to collectively make decisions on what should happen, the stupider those decisions get for everybody. This is just tribal mentality and the flaw of humanity and why God does not like the beast, and he prefers individuals who choose God, not the beast. We're going to go into that in a little bit, probably. So, the beast is a mindless entity that just meanders through, wrecking people's lives as it goes here and there, not giving a damn because it's a selfish, self-serving entity. The government. All governments are this. Even the ones that you think are different, they're not. They may not be as bad, but they're all the same. They're all the same. That's why God hates government. He hates it. And he does not want you to choose government, the beast, over him and his plan that he has for you and your species. Okay? The governments, they don't know what's best for you. They don't even know what's best for them. Okay? All they know is what they want, and that's what they're going to do. So basically, at the end of Revelations, it says the devil. And just to let you know, there is no devil. Okay? The devil is a construct of God to represent human behavior. Because at the end of the day, God did not create something from nothing. When he created humanity and he said, let me make them after my image, or our image, the Elohim, all the different things involved in the administration of God, all the entities. Basically, what he's saying is that I took you when you were just a monkey thing, this Australopithecus monkey animal, and I gave you half of my DNA, half of my soul. I made you half God and half animal. And that is the nature of humanity. That's why we are on the cusp. We are literally 50-50, right down the middle, half animal and half God. It's like that saying, that Native American saying, where they say, every man has two wolves inside of him, a good wolf and a bad wolf, fighting for dominance. And the people's like, well, which wolf wins? And the shaman's like, well, the wolf you feed the most, obviously, because that becomes the strongest over time. This is the nature of sin, okay? Sin is an animalistic endeavor, okay? To rape, to fuck, to kill, to steal, to all these things are what animals do on a daily basis, okay? This is not what gods do, it's what animals do. But we're half animal, so we have to indulge this as it is a part of us. But God does not want us to lean into this half of us. He wants us to lean into the godly half, which is not sinful. And this is why he says the wages of sin are death. Because he's basically saying, listen, I made you half God, half me. And if you choose to be an animal over my half, then an animal is how I will treat you. And animals don't get into heaven. Animals don't have an afterlife. Not a good one, anyways. They don't have any afterlife. But, for the humans, they're animalistic. They don't have a good one. They just live in purgatory forever. And hell, which is basically the burned up cities from Armageddon, which I go into in the Great Tribulation. You should watch that video. It's very important. So, this is the nature of sin, just so you know. This is what sin is when God is talking about sin. He's saying you're half animal and half God. And right now you're obeying your animal half. So all the things when the gays say things like, well, but homosexuality is exhibited in the animal kingdom. Yeah, because they're animals. They're sinful creatures. Is that what you want to be? Do you want to be a sinful animal when you have the ability to be a god and literally live as an angel for everlasting eternity? Mostly. I mean, if that's what you want, God's not going to stop you, dude. God does not want an army of slaves. He wants a legion of allies. And you can't have allies without people having free will to choose to pick your side, to choose to stand aside you. Okay? So that is the reason why the world is the way it is that God allows free will. Because if you were just come down from the sky and say, I'm God, you're going to do as I say or I'm going to kill you. You're my creation. You don't have your own life. Sorry, I didn't give it to you for that. Then he doesn't have a legion of allies, does he? Now he has an army of slaves. That's what he has. A bunch of, yes, sir, men. Yes, sir, God, whatever you say. Please don't kill me. That's all it is. God wants more from you. Trust me on this. I know things. Whether God has revealed gravity to me and I just act as an antenna to tune into that, or whether God has rewarded me for being the only human to figure out gravity. Nonetheless, I have a deeper insight into God than any other human on this planet right now. And that's just the way it is. You should listen to the words that I'm saying. They are very important. We are in the final hour, and things are going to start getting very badly. So, that's the devil. The devil is basically human nature. It is your animalistic, sinful half of you, okay? And there is no lake of fire, there is no hell. But what this is referring to is after Armageddon happens, which is coming very soon, in the next 2 years, Putin is going to nuke all the NATO countries. He's already said he's going to do this. This is going to happen. You can't stop this. This is God's plan. In 2 years, Putin's going to destroy the world. And all of the major cities are going to burn and be in fire, but they're going to be this radioactive wasteland of radioactive glass. And all the souls that died there, that will reside there, or were destroyed there, that is their hell. That is, they're trapped in that location for some reason, reasons that even I don't understand, but they can't get out. But they're trapped in this post-nuclear wasteland that they helped create by worshiping the beast that led them to that. So, just so you know, there is no hell. It's just what remains of all the cities in the world in the next 2 years. And that's where the souls are going to be trapped of all the people who worship the beast, the government, who typically are going to congregate there in the largest cities like New York, Los Angeles. Usually, you don't have a whole bunch of God fearing men craving to move to large cities like New York City, okay? This is just not normal. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's not normal. Okay. And the false prophet, obviously, I went into the Great Tribulation, is 100% Anthony Fauci. 100% he's the false prophet. So the beast of the governments, the false prophet is Anthony Fauci, the devil is human nature, and the lake of fire, hell, is basically what's going to be left of the cities and civilization when God gets done wiping things off. Okay, we got a lot to go through, so let's see if we can't pick this up a little bit. Okay, and I saw thrones, blah, 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 which had not worshipped the beast. Okay, now here basically is God saying, listen, all the people that were loyal to me and not the beast, I'm going to reward by giving them an afterlife as an angel in my legion. Okay? That's what it says numerous times in the Bible. When you die, you don't go to heaven and eat angel food cake all day long. No. And listen to harps. No. You now are in service of the Lord. And that was one of the reasons why he chose you, because he knew that you were going to be okay with that. You now become an angel. And the better life you live, the higher archetype of angel you become. The more responsibility and the more God trusts you to do the right thing with the power he'll bestow upon you. Okay? Now, I saw the thrones and they sat upon them. The judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast. So basically he's saying, listen, as long as you don't choose the beast over God, we're cool. Okay? I'm going to have your back. And that's worship the beast, neither his image. Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads and their hands. Okay? Now, this is a nod to the false prophet, because the false prophet, what this also says later on, we'll look into real quick. The false prophet, the way he tried to cure the world of disease and illness, COVID, Anthony Fauci, was by having the beast, the governments of the world, impose the two marks of the beast. Now, it says the hand and the forehead, but keep in mind, there's a lot of mistranslations. This was written thousands of years ago. And to be honest, maybe they don't want you to pick up on it right away. Maybe it's supposed to be an intelligence test as well. But what's really going on here is the mark of the beast that the false prophet imposed on the world. It's one in the arm, the vaccine that didn't work and killed many, many people, many untold Christians, as is written in the Bible, and the mark of the beast over the face, not forehead, face, just down a couple inches. The mask that didn't work. Imagine that, the most contagious disease to ever be made, manufactured, and released by our government, and a stupid cloth mask doesn't do nothing against it. Imagine that. But they still forced you to do it, didn't they? I know they forced me. I couldn't work. I couldn't go in the grocery store and buy food without a mask or without the vaccine. The mark of the beast. It will be have in the old times and the end times, or there will be no trade or commerce. You cannot buy and you cannot sell. That is how they imposed the mark of the beast. And that's what they did, didn't they? Yes, they did. They did it to me, and I know they did it to others. So you know, That's what's going on. And then after Armageddon, when the world is destroyed and 2/3 of the world dies off, the angels will renew, and then Christ will come down and reign for 1,000 years. And then after 1,000 years, they will let the devil out. Meaning, after 1,000 years of under Christ's rule, they'll let mankind have more autonomy and have more free will to choose again if he wants to lean into God or lean into the beast or his hedonistic animalistic sinful nature. All right? And who knows exactly how that's going to go down, but it's written, it's foretold, that's how it's going to be. We get 1,000 years of peace and prosperity under Jesus after these next 2 years of hell, 3 years of hell, and that's the beauty of it. That's the plan. That's how we win in the end. Is we get 1,000 year reign with Jesus as our head. All right, reigning from the third temple, which the Jews have already sacrificed a red heifer in October, believe it or not, maybe November, and then they released a video of it that went underground. It was leaked in December, and yeah, I think they're building the third temple right now as we speak. I believe if you go to Jerusalem to where the mound is, where the third temple was slated to be rebuilt and have all the permits for, I think it's going to be blocked and cordoned off, and you're not going to be able to see what's going on. That's what I think. What do I know? I don't have any proof of that. Take it for what it is. Now, okay. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, which he didn't. With him he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. Vaccine in the arm, mask over the face. And them that received his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. So basically, they're not going to be cast anywhere. Basically, what he's saying is that the beast and Dr. Fauci, the false prophet, are going to get blown the hell up by nukes, by Putin's nukes. And they are going to either, their soul is going to be destroyed permanently, I believe, or if any remnants of it do survive, it's going to be stuck in this post-nuclear apocalyptic terrain forever, and that's just there forever. That's the price that they have to pay for deceiving the world. And keep in mind, I'm sure Anthony Fauci legitimately believed he really was the true prophet when he started on this endeavor, but there was definitely a time that came to pass when he realized my vaccine, my mask, my 6-foot rules, all of this are not doing the job. I have failed. I am not the true prophet. And he just kept on going because ego, sinful nature, animalistic, only serve yourself. And this is the reason why he's going to burn forever. Sorry, but it is what it is. I can't say I'm sorry to see it. Now, and I saw the beast of the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war with him that sat on the horse against this army. Just basically saying the governments of the world, waging wars and blah, 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 like what's going on right now in the tribulation. We're getting to Trump. It's getting there. Yeah, I know that's why you queued in. We're getting there. And the 420 elders and four beasts, fell down and worshipped God and sat on the throne, saying, Amen, the voice. So this is basically saying that even the governments are going to renounce and worship God after Armageddon is complete, after 2/3 of the world is dead. And it says, I believe in the Old Testament, it says that the way Jesus is going to, when he's ruling from the third temple, the way he's going to impose authority over all the beasts of the world is those who do not come and visit him once a year in Jerusalem, the pearl of the world, to pay homage to him and respect to him, they will be denied rainwater until they see him. So it's basically like, hey, you don't believe I'm the God that is taking care of you, that's fine. I'll let you come to it at your own terms. We're just not going to let you get in your rainwater until you want to, pay homage to me. Do what you want. And after so many years of drought, the few beasts that hold out are going to cave, and they're going to be like, "Please let it rain. I will do whatever. Just please." And that is, it's going to happen. It says it's going to happen in the Bible. There will be some beasts that just don't want to fall in line with God for whatever reason, and God's not going to smite them anymore. He's done with that for a while. He's just going to say, "Listen, no rain until you worship me." That's the way it is. And for beast, there are four major beasts that have ushered in Armageddon and Revelations. Okay, I'm going to explain what those four beasts are. In case you didn't realize, Trump is one of them. America. And this is my error of ways. So, um, yeah, and cinnamon and frankincense and the beast and sleep and blah blah blah. This is just basically saying the end. Um, yeah, comparing the America to Babylon, the superpower back in the day, like 2,000 years ago, where they got destroyed by God, I believe, because they were too hedonistic. Um, For God hath put their hearts in to fulfill his will and to agree, give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. So yeah, and so basically it's saying until God's ready to take control of humanity, like Jesus coming down, reigning for 1,000 years, God's just going to let the beast do it, knowing that they're going to mess it up. It is a lesson, partly as a lesson to humanity, just to show you. Listen, if I leave you to your own vices, your tribal monkey mind is going to create these institutions of authority like governments and whatnot, and it's just it's not gonna work. It might work for a while, maybe a couple of generations, but sooner or later it's gonna all fall apart because this does not work. It is not a long-term strategy that is viable for survival of species, the way we do things, the way we have our government run. um, I don't know what is, to be exactly, because humans are so deeply flawed. We're half animal, half sinful creatures. And how do you build any empire around those attributes? It's really hard. Maybe with AI, if you could have someone program it properly and not, to do shenanigans like, a lot of the AI is doing now. I don't know. It's really hard. And 10 horns, I don't know what the 10 horns represents, but it does. A horn definitely represents something. And they're not talking about horns. It's something else, like maybe like arms of might or industries they control, or whatever. I don't know exactly what the 10 horns represent, but trust me, they're not speaking about horns. And thou sawest the beast, and thou shalt hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. The whore that they're speaking of, I'm going to try and find this passage here. I couldn't find it last time on my tribulation video. Is it talks about a whore, a woman of immoral virtue, who has seduced all the kings of all the kingdoms of the world, and the kings have no choice to obey her, for it is God's will. And the whore is basically feminism. All right, feminism is the exact opposite of religion values in almost every single endeavor. In fact, when feminism first started getting kicked off mainstream in like the 60s, a lot of rallies, they would basically just say, we have to destroy the church, we have to destroy religion, we have to destroy marriage because these are the institutions that are oppressing women. And as long as they are around, women will never be free. And that is the tenets, the roots of feminism, and still to this day persist. It is, you cannot sit there and say that any of the values of feminism, whether that be intersectionality with gay and lesbian and trans activist rights movements, which are all haram and sinful in the eyes of God. And it's in the Bible. It says homosexuals don't go to heaven. He's destroyed cities over that stuff. Okay, he's not down with the animalistic sex, the homosexual, sex addict fueled sex. Okay, it's not religious. It's not cool with God. He's not okay with that. And that includes the third wave feminism. The basically every woman has to be a whore. And it says that in third wave feminism. It says basically if every woman is a whore, then men will have no choice but to accept whores as their beloveds. That's it. That's what it says. I think it's under the body positivity or sex positivity attribute of third wave feminism, basically telling all women to be whores so that men have no choice but to choose a whore. And what they didn't understand is that a lot of men just will choose to not play the game at all if it's rigged against them. And that's why the birth rates and the marriage rates are plummeting like off a cliff. It really is the end of our species. It really is bad. Feminism is the worst. And if you're a feminist, I urge you to reconsider your priorities in this world. God is more important. But and then also when they talk about the whore, it's not just feminism. They're also referring to, I believe, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, that has spent, they bragged about it, like tens of billions of dollars owning Google, all the searches you see, all the news articles. They pay them off to write only glowing articles about feminism and scathing articles about anything that they don't like religion, Christianity, Islam, whatever. And they have the ESG metrics they've instituted with Biden, where they basically, like BlackRock, the financial arm of the WF, basically has complete control over all the corporations. This is how Tucker Carlson got fired. He did a story on Friday, I saw it, about how the WF was going to make you eat bugs. And that's true. They want you to eat bugs. They hate you. And then the WF saw that and called Robert Murdoch. And they said, hey, we own half your stock. And Tucker Carlson just talked some serious crap against us. You're going to fire him right now. We're going to destroy your stock. And even though they own more than half, they don't have the A stock that Murdoch owns. So they can't control the company like Murdoch can. But they do own more than half of the B stock, which means they can't completely destroy the stock and all of his value and money like that. And they will. And so Murdoch caved and he fired Tucker Carlson. Just like bam, just like right there. Booyah. Not even a minute's thought. Oh, what? You're going to cost me billions? Okay, oh, he's gone. That's the way they control the world, man. It's money and corruption, and the WF is all about that in the name of peddling feminism to the whole world. So, let's go. Excuse me, brain damage, getting blown up in the war. These have one mind, and they shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay, what are they talking about here? And the beast was and is not, even he is the eighth and is the seventh, and goeth to the perdition. And the 10 horns which saith in the 10 kings. Interesting. So a horn is somehow related to a kingdom or a king. I believe that a horn is just an avenue of authority they wield. That's what I believe personally, but we'll see. Receive the powers kings 1 hour with the beast. Okay, I'm not really 100% certain what this whole passage is trying to portray. I don't know everything, guys. Sorry. Mystery of a woman and the beast that carried her, which hath 7 heads and 10 horns. And that beast, thou sayest, was if not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition, and shall dwell on the earth, and shall wander, whose names were not written in the book of life and the foundation of the world. And when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. So basically, the beast is going to carry the woman. Like I said, the immoral whore, the immoral woman is feminism peddled by the WF. And so the governments are going to peddle the feminism at the behest of the WEF. Okay. This is basically how this is all going down right now. This is what this is referring to in real time and what you're seeing, what's going on right now. Okay. Um, okay. Where do we get to the trump? All right. How far to the trump? It's coming up. She carried away in spirit the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, a red beast, which is described as a red dragon, and other interpretations. And just so you know, this 2024 is the year of the dragon. Kind of peculiar, right? Um, Full of names and blasphemy, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. So they control 10 sectors of the economy, 7 heads. I don't know what that refers to. But yeah, this is basically this beast right here, I believe, is referring to the WF. Okay? So the WF carried the immoral lady feminism around the world to all the kings and kingdoms. Okay? And there came the 7 angels and 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, and whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Okay, so that's basically saying this is the passage where God is basically, it's written different in different translations of the Bible, but basically he's saying this is where all the kings of the kingdoms have no choice but to obey her. He's like, I made them drunk with her intoxication and her lust. That way they would do what she wanted, because that's how we usher in the end times, and really test everybody and humanity to see whether you're worthy of God's love or not. So this is what this is all talking about right here, is the feminism being peddled by the WF. This whole passage is just that right there, and how that's coming to be. All right. And I saw 3 unclean spirits. Okay. All right. Now this is where this is important. This is very important. All right. This is one of the things I was talking about. This is where they're talking about the 7 signs of Armageddon that must happen. Okay? Oh, no, my bad. Yeah, these are not, my bad. These are not the 7 signs. These are not the 7 signs. Maybe it is. Yeah. The 4th, port of vial. Yeah. And the 5th, port of vial, stood the beast in the kingdom, and the gnawed of their tongue. Yeah, okay, these are the 7 signs, okay? But notice how this, okay? And I saw, come on, where am I at? Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs. I go into this on my Great Tribulation video. The frogs are not frogs. It says like frogs. They're not frogs. What they are bats. Okay? If you look at a bat and a frog side by side, they look a lot alike. They have the same posture, the same size, the same kind of creepy hiding in caves and shit stuff going on. Difference is one has smooth skin, one has furry skin and flies, and the other one hops a long ways. They're like. They're like. Not the same, but like. That's what it's talking about. I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon. The dragon is one of the 4 beasts. We're going to go into that. And out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Now, or maybe this is the beast right here, and the dragon is the WF. So basically, what this is saying is that these 3 entities, the government, the beast, the false prophet, Anthony Fauci, and the dragon, which I believe is a WF, or it could possibly be President Xi in China, one of those two. I'm not sure if this dragon's the same. Um, they open their mouths, and unclean spirits, meaning, unclean meaning disease ridden, virus, spirits meaning it's not real but it is, and coming out of my mouth, meaning they won't shut up talking about bats. Unclean bats, diseased bats. Oh, this virus didn't come from a laboratory over here from the epicenter. No, it came from bats 3,000 miles away, even though we couldn't find any of them that had coronavirus. And that went on and on and on for the first 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation, until the world rejected that, finally, as it was prophesied. But just so you know, this is where the Bible is saying, listen, you're going to have these three entities that are going to deceive the world, and they're going to tell you that their virus that they created to infect you is actually from bats, unclean bats, or unclean frogs, like frogs, animals. So, they are the spirits of the devil, okay? Animalistic sin, human nature, working miracles, which they weren't, which go forth in the kings and the earth and the whole world, and gathered them to the battle, the great day of the Almighty, Armageddon. Okay? So that's very important. That's basically the Bible telling you about the whole pandemic and how do not trust the beast, the government. The Bible just keeps saying this over and over. Every single chapter, it has it in there, some story about how the beast should not be trusted. Literally, if you could sum the Bible up in one sentence, it would be, don't trust the government. Trust God. Anything but yourself. Anything but the government. That's the way it is. People miss this message for some reason, though. Okay? So, and the fifth angel poured his vial in the sea of the beast. Okay, yeah, that's just going in. That's talking about Trump, when Trump was president in 2017, I believe that refers to. First went the vial, and fell Newsom, the men which had the mark of the beast, okay, worship his image, basically saying, yep, those that, believe the false prophet and take his mark and wholeheartedly, believe in it and, wanted it and honestly thought it was going to save the world. Sorry, God has no place for you. You're too stupid. You believe what these people tell you, and you're not going to ever be on God's side because these guys say something and you're on their side. And they're idiots. Okay. And one of the four beasts gave unto the seven angels vials. Okay, here's a very important thing. Okay. So, the seven angels came out of the temple, having 7 plagues, clothed in pure white and linen, and having their breast girdled with golden girdles. I don't know what this is referring to, but the 7 angels are the actual people that have orchestrated each and every of the 7 signs that I've laid out in my previous videos and how they've happened. Okay? And you notice right here, and one of the 4 beasts that are running the world right now, and this one refers to America. This is America, 100%. And America gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials full of wrath of God, who liveth forever and ever. Okay? So basically, it's saying right here that of all the 7 signs that occurred for Armageddon to occur, which I have a video on, all of them, one country, one government is going to somehow be related to all of them. And it's, spoiler alert, it's America. It starts with the AIDS pandemic in America, which was probably created by America and Dr. Fauci, to be honest. And then it goes off into, I want to say, Fukushima meltdown, which only happened because America helped build that plant and develop the technology. The Rivers of Red, which ISIS did for 3 days, executing 5,000 Shiites, which I believe America was involved in that as well somehow. To the butt of the beast, Trump authorizing Dr. Fauci's gain of function research. The through the air it spreads. The final sign, COVID virus, which is all America. The only sign that I can't really attribute directly to America would be the drying up of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which has happened. But then again, I don't know everything. Maybe we did something over there and created a dam and diverted stuff downstream. Who knows? What the Bible is saying here, listen, man, one of the four beasts, one of the four governments, America, is going to play an integral role in all of the seven signs of Armageddon ushering in the end of the world. And that is 100% America. America became this is one of the visions that God gave me when I learned how to commune with Him. He taught me. And America became the center of the world because we were the ones who destroyed slavery in our species. It was all America. When America came to be, slavery was everywhere in every country. All right, and then when I think it was Andrew Jackson, when he came to power, just like America being around for like 20 years, that's it. The Barbary pirates, the pirates in Africa, which God had already made a desolate place for enslaving his Jewish people for 800 years, 400 years, whatever it was. He then punished Africa severely and made it a desolate shithole of a country to this day for what they did to his Jewish people. God is very wrathful when you get on his bad side. And they didn't learn their lesson. They formed the Barbary pirates led by the Sultan of Morocco, and they were taking American merchant ships and raping all the women to death and making all the men gallows slaves, where you just row in the hot sun until the chained to an oar on your own feces until you rot to death with the sun burning you, and with white skin you die after a few months. Very horrible way to die, gallows slave. And that's what the Barbary pirates did to the British and to America. And so we were paying a bribe money to the Sultan. I think it was like $100,000 a year back in like 1800, which is a lot of money. And he kept taking people anyway. So Andrew Jackson's like, screw this, dude. We're just taking him out. And so we went there, and I think they were going to kill him. And at the last second, the Sultan agreed to back the fuck down and never take another, American ship ever again. And so we made a deal with him, and they wiped out the other Barbary pirates. But just know, even the British Navy couldn't deal with the Barbary pirates. They're losing so many ships, it was insane. And everybody's getting turned to slaves till they die. All in Africa. The center of slavery is all a slave trade. It's always Africa. It always has been since the dawn of time. Imagine that. But and so we destroyed them, man. Our first act as a navy, as a country, as military, is we destroyed the Barbary pirates. We utterly destroyed them. And then after that was done, we had our civil war. We wanted to eradicate slavery in our own country, and we lost like 1 million, God-fearing white Christian men in that war to end slavery. And God was so impressed. Maybe he orchestrated it, but he was impressed nonetheless that we did it. And we sacrificed 1 million men to end slavery. And that the whole rest of the world saw how brutal it was and how realized we weren't going to have none of that crap. We weren't going to have no slavery no more. It ain't going to happen. And so within 2 years, slavery was abolished in almost every major country around the world after our Civil War here in America in 1864 or whatever. And so that was the reason why God had made America the center of the world since that day. Okay? It's because of that blessing. We, America, was actually more blessed by God for ending slavery around the world than the Jews were, being his most recent race that he created and has been looking out after for the last 5,000 years. Think about that. That's a pretty wild thing to think about. Okay, so, and I saw the received glass mingled, and I got in the victory of the beast in his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name. Yeah, the number of his name, 666. The name of the beast. It's not the devil, dude. The 666 refers to. I'd go into this on my Great Tribulation video. 666 is embedded into the code of every barcode, essentially for merchandise. And barcodes are used to track things by the beast, by the government. You know, it's how purchase things get sold and tracked and, you know, accounted for and paid for. And the 666 is just because, for whatever reason, the guy that created the barcodes, who I actually met before he died, I got him drunk at Avila Resort, and when I was a bartender there in Tampa, Florida, back in the day. He was worth billions of dollars back then. I remember he was an interesting guy. I don't think he was a satanic dude at all. I think it was just the way things worked out. But 666 is embedded into every single barcode. You can look into this. Every single barcode starts with a 6, is broken up in the middle by 6, and ends with a 6. That's how the code works. 666, the name or the number of the beast. All trade will be done with the number of the beast. 666, the barcodes. All trade is done with barcodes. This is all real, dude, guys. Okay, I mean, I'm not crazy. All right, this is real. This is the way it is. Okay, God has allowed me to see certain things about the world, and I am very grateful for that privilege that I have gotten from creating dynamic gravity. It is one. I love that I created dynamic gravity, but man, I love the fact that God has me blessed even more. It doesn't even compare. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so I'm getting to Trump yet. My lord, how many times is the beast mentioned here? Okay, receive us the mark, blah, 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 go to hell, worship the beast, receive his mark in the forehead, blah, 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 go to hell. Don't want to. You guys, man, don't trust this vaccine, dude. And don't trust the mask. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. All of it. All of it. Okay. We're getting to Trump, I promise. I know it's a long video. I'm so sorry. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn the song but 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. The 144,000, I believe, refers to the 12 tribes of the Jews. 12,000 of each tribe will be selected, the top 12,000 of each tribe, to go to heaven. But I believe this only accounts for the Jews, because you got to remember, the Bible is a Jews' religion, so it's going to cater to the Jews. Like when the Bible says, you know, he created Adam, uh, you know, 5,000 years ago. Adam wasn't the first human. Adam was the first Jew. Okay? Adam is the beginning of the Jewish lineage. God created the Jews as his people. Yeah, for whatever reason. Who knows? It is what it is. Okay? Okay. Standing number of the beast. Yep, 666. There we go. Like I said, the barcodes. 666. All it's talking about. Just how the beast maintains control by buying and selling. Yep. Look at this. And because all, rich and poor, free and bond, receive the mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Saying it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, they're going to try and force you to wear the mask and get the vaccine. And no man might sell or buy that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this is basically what I was telling you, that Anthony Fauci is going to use the beast to impose his 2 marks of the beast to cure the world. Vaccine in the arm, mask over the face. And if you do not do that, you cannot buy or sell. You cannot work and you cannot go and buy groceries. This is how they get you to take it. It's forced. God knows this, man. God does not look bad upon you because you got the vaccine or wore the mask. God looks bad upon you if you wanted the vaccine because you believed Dr. Fauci so badly and you wanted him to be right so badly that you ignored the science and you ignored reality around you to follow this man and his delusions and the government that he controlled to oppose this holistic apocalyptic world upon us. All right? Just to let you know. Just because you got the vaccine or wear the mask does not mean you're going to go to hell. If you want to wear the mask and you want to get the vaccine and you believe, honestly, that's the only way to ever get rid of COVID because that's what Fauci told you, then yeah, you might go to hell. I'm sorry. There has to be winners and losers in every game. And the end game of life is no different. I need more alcohol. Okay, let's go. The power to giveth life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause many that would not worship his image, and the beast be killed. Yep. So yeah, those who do not worship the beast will be killed. I don't know exactly how this is, referring. Maybe this is talking about certain people that died, and like they weren't able to get medicine or go to the hospital or do whatever because they couldn't, like I couldn't wear the mask. I swear to God, man. I walked in my hospital, like I got drain damage, I got blown up in Iraq. If I wear a mask, like just a regular cloth mask, whatever, surgical mask, in less than a minute I am choking in my own vomit. And if that mask is not taken off me, I'm dead. I will die. If you want to kill me, just tape a mask to me and walk the fuck away. I'll be dead before you get to your car. That's how easy it is to kill me. And my own hospital, the VA, man, I'm a 100% disabled vet, and they know this. I got this brain damage serving my country. It's well documented from back 10 years ago that I cannot wear a mask under any circumstances for any reason ever. And they literally, the patient advocate, my doctors, my head of the VA, literally told me, well, it's better than that you just go home and die, because we can't allow you to risk hurting and killing some poor innocent soul who does wear their mask and is vaccinated. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You're telling me that I can't wear the mask. It will 100% kill me. And that you would rather I just die? I just go home and die because I could hypothetically, maybe or maybe not, infect somebody with this bullshit disease. Oh, and hey, by the way, I haven't even been sick in the last 30 plus years. Yeah, I haven't been sick with anything. I've tried. Believe me, I've tried. I've tried catching STDs. I've tried catching a cold. When COVID came out, I was licking freaking handles and bus stops just to prove to people I couldn't get sick. I cannot get sick. I am the last person you need to worry about giving you any disease. And yet, their only solution to me was to die. And until I threatened to come in and kill everybody, dude, that was the only thing on the table. And then once I threatened to murder everybody and take them down with me, then all of a sudden the VA director at our hospital all of a sudden realized, oh shit, he's going to fucking kill everybody if I don't fucking figure out a way to let him get treatment with his cancer so he doesn't die. And yeah, man, that was how it got resolved. I literally had to threaten to murder everybody, and I was 100% going to do it. I 100%, dude. I'm sorry. I wish I was a better man. I really do. But at the end of the day, I'm a half fucking dirty animal, and I am a sinful, remorseful creature. And my particular illness as a psychopath is I will kill people if they get on my bad side. Murder is always a tool in my toolbox, ready to be used if need be. And I don't ever want to go there. But I've done it before. You're fucking out your mind. You think I won't do it again. And I'm sorry. Please forgive me, God. Please forgive me. I am sorry for being weak. A stupid animal. Now, let us go. Had all the power to give life unto the beast, okay? Deceiveth by the means of the power, make the image of the beast, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. Here's where I think it goes into the beast, all right? Here's one, I believe, let's see here. And behold, the beast coming up out of the earth with two horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. Yeah, this is it, okay? Unfortunately, this is not a very good interpretation. Like I said, the King James Bible is not the best always. So I'm going to find the other one, and I'm going to get another drink. Just give me 1 second. And wow, I cannot pause this. All right, we'll stop it. Okay, so here is the English Standard Version. Things are all different. It is written so many different times, but it is what it is. So it's very interesting. I want you to think about this. I said that Trump is one of the beasts, right? And this is attack as prophesied in the Bible. I want you to take a look at this. And by the signs allowed to work in the presence of the beast, deceives those who dwell on earth, telling them to make the image for the beast that was wounded by the sword, yet lived. So, basically, there was a beast that was wounded by a sword, by a weapon of war, a gun, a mortal wound, but yet it lived. All right? Let me see. And it performs great signs, even making fire come down from the heaven and earth in front of people. Now, if you look at my first video on the Armageddon signs, I have Trump as the when he did the solar eclipse in 2017 as the sign for the sun burning man and all the behold or whatever to see. Because it was such a huge spectacle and everybody watched him look at the sun, and it was stupid. But this is what it's referring to, basically saying that he also is involved in that sign of Armageddon, where the sun has burned people from whatever. Okay? And it exercises authority over the first beast in its presence. Is the second beast talking about Trump, right? The American government, shall I say, specifically, but Trump is the head right now, according to God. It exercises all authority and the first beast in its presence, and makes the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose mortal wound was healed. Okay? That's Trump. And there's this one right here. Hold on. One of its heads seemed to have had a mortal wound, but the wound was healed, and those who marveled as they followed the beast. So basically saying, one of the beasts got a mortal wound in his head. It doesn't say head right here, but I'm telling you, another thing that says head. So a mortal head wound, but yet miraculously healed, and then the beast goes to worship the dragon and saying, who is like the beast who can fight? Who can fight against it? That's basically when Trump was saying, uh, "Fight, fight, fight." After he got shot in the ear. This is the Bible saying, "Listen, dude, he's going to call the fight after this," and that's basically what he's did. Now, let me see if I can find the passages where it talks. Yeah. And this is the first beast, like a leopard, and mouth like a lion, and the dragon gave its power and throne and great authority. One of the beasts, the first beast, here we go. This is Putin right here. It's the first beast, okay? Trump is the second beast. Putin is the first beast, okay? The first beast, and I saw the beast rising out of the sea. Another interpretation says bubbling out of the sea. And the 10 horns and 7 heads, all the industries, whatever, and 10 diadems, I know what that is, on its horns and blasphemous names on its heads. The first beast, it says, it comes out of the ocean, like he bubbles out of the ocean and declares war. Gee, I wonder, what major world leader / government has had an incident since this tribulation began in the last 5 years where he had come up bubbling out of the ocean, like when the Baltic gas line got blown up by the Ukraine and America, and then wages war. Although technically he waged a war before, but not everything's 100% perfect all the time. But that's Putin. Putin is definitely the first beast. Trump is the second beast that got a mortal head wound and then rallied everyone to fight, and the whole nation followed him. The third beast is, I want to say, is China, is the dragon, is the dragon of the east. See if it says here. Second beast. Is it going to the third beast? The lamb doesn't even say the third beast. Yeah. And the fourth beast is let me see here. Is it even showing? No. The fourth beast is the United Nations, okay? The fourth beast is the United Nations. I'm trying to find where it goes off in there, but it talks about the beast so many times in Revelation that's kind of a long chapter. But I just want you to know, like the Bible and Revelations, it clearly says over and over again that one of the beasts, the second beast, will have a head wound and will fully recover. Now, I misinterpreted that in my last video. I thought that was Putin, who his head of security had attacked him and called for a coup against him. But then Putin defeated him and killed him, by shooting his plane down. Petrovsky, whatever, from Wagner. But all are on a throne, each side a living creature. The first living creature is like a lion. It was like an ox, like the face of a man. Here's talks about the beast again. The fourth creature is like an eagle in flight. So the fourth beast has wings and can travel all around the world. This is the United Nations, okay? The United Nations likes to fancy itself the government of the world, all right? And they also, fun fact, you can look this up, they actually, I put this in my other video, the Great Tribulation, for their mascot, man, they had built a making of the beast of Revelations. They totally lean into it. They're like, yeah, we're the beast of Revelations. We're the fourth beast. Like they look at themselves as that 100%. They are that. They are the United Nations is the fourth beast. China is the third beast. America is the second beast, and Russia is the first beast. These are the four entities that are calling in and ushering in the end of the world. Okay? Now, this video is getting kind of long, so we're just going to start going into some other stuff real quick and then end it. But, yes. If we look here at this attack, I just want to show you guys something. This is how God works, okay? And I don't understand this. I don't get this myself. This actually is the only thing I don't understand about God, is how he has this power. But he does. And he might not even have the power. He might just be very good at willing things into existence in a way that I know how he does. But basically what you need to know is that God appears to have, and this is why he's omnipotent and knows best. He's not just really smart. He's not just really lucky. God has the power of future sight, a precognition. He can see the future and change events like a butterfly event style things to ensure that this future gets ushered in existence and this one does not. Okay? This is why God's power is supreme and you will never, ever, ever in a million years defeat God. He has the power of foresight. He can see the future. And I don't know how that's possible. Because according to my theory of gravity that God taught me, this is not possible. But yet God has the power of the impossible. He can do this. All right? And so you might be saying, okay, well, God deflected this bullet, right? Look at this. Look at it. How crazy it is. Look, as soon this shot happened the second that Trump moved his head like that. Just moved his head for no reason. Like someone just yelled, like, what? And he moved his head. And the shot was going to hit him. The shot was going to hit him. Boom, through the brain. And at the last second, he just moved his head. Just randomly moved his head. This is how God works, okay? Trump was going to die. He was 100% going to die there. And God put the thought in his mind sometime during his life that at that exact moment, he was just randomly, very quickly, not even slowly, very quickly, just going to move his... And every time the shot gets fired, he moves his head again so that the bullet just misses him. Just misses him over time. Look at this. We'll see if we can't do this in slow motion. Playback speed. Look at this. This is how God works. He did this to me too. I'm very intimately aware of how this happens. Look at that. Boom. That's one shot right there. As soon as he moved his head, one shot. And now he hits his ear. And there's another shot. Look, he moved it again. And there's another bullet goes by. And now he goes down. Now the shots go over his head. Every time he moved his head, another shot just missed him. Every time. Okay? God did that. God made Trump flicker like that so that he would not die. And he did it just the right time so that Trump would get shot in the head wound in the ear, but would not be seriously damaged and would be only renewed, would harden his heart so that after this, he would be even more down to run for president and not be scared away from it. God did that. That's what God did. And you can see, it was 100%. It was that last second that he moved his hand. And there's the bullet, as you can see, right as he went over. There's the bullet, whizzing right by. That one actually didn't hit his ear. That looked like maybe the first one that went by. Pew! And then the second one hit his ear when he flickered. Okay? Just to let you know, man. And then that call to fight, like I said, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible, man. It's all written down. Everything is written down in the Bible. We are living through a play-by-play that God laid out with his precognitive abilities going back as far as 5,000 years ago in the Old Testament. I know a lot of this I'm reading from the New Testament, but some of it has been from the Old Testament too, from 5,000 years ago. Yes, that's how long this plan, these actions have been in play. This plan has been in place, okay? And if you might be saying, well, your remarks earlier on feminism, blah, 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 and the government, I don't think God hates women and blah, blah, blah. He kind of does. He does. Here's the Gospel of Thomas. Yeah, the one that didn't make the Bible. But Thomas, he's one of the 12 disciples of Jesus, doubting Thomas, the one that didn't believe he, actually healed his wounds from crucifixion, doubting Thomas. But he did. All right? Listen, man. Says basically, let one who has found the world and has become wealthy renounce the world. Okay? That's the one God wants. God wants the man who has lived in the belly of the beast, who has successfully conquered the beast and made the beast work for him, and then realized the evil wickedness of the beast, the government, and just renounced it and walked away from it as though it meant nothing, as though his money meant nothing, as though the fortune meant nothing. And all that mattered was righteousness. That's what God wants from you, okay? Renounce, first conquer the world, then renounce it for its wickedness and evil, okay? And whoever is living, one will not see death. And those who have found themselves, and then when the world is not worthy. Damn the flesh that depends on the soul. Damn the soul that depends on the flesh. Basically, he's saying, listen, man, you can't have it both ways. You have to choose either the flesh or the soul. Are you going to nurture your flesh or are you going to nurture your soul? And the soul is more rewarding in the end. And blah, blah, blah. And here we go, right here. And now this thing is probably added original correction on a later date, but I think it was legit. Because it's in the Bible numerous times, okay? Simon Peter said to them, make Mary leave us, for females don't deserve life. He's talking about the everlasting life. And can I not? Oh, I can't do that. Dang it. Yeah. Well, anyways. And what Jesus said was, look, I will guide her to make her male, so that she too may become a living spirit resembling you males. For every female who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven. What does this mean? What is God talking about right now, or Jesus, when he's saying that women are not equal to men spiritually in the eyes of God? Let me break it to you like this. God made man from Australopithecus, whatever, Homo erectus, from this monkey thing. And he made this man half God and gave it a soul. But then man was lonely. And so God realized he would have to also make it a companion so this man would feel whole and and not feel sad and lonely all the time. And so he made female. But he didn't make female the same way. The way he made a female is a shortcut. He just took her from the rib from flesh or whatever, DNA from the man's rib. And then he made the woman. So a man is half monkey, half God. Okay? But a woman is not cut of the same cloth of a man. A woman is cut of the cloth of a man who is half God and half monkey. So technically, her soul is much more diminished in the eyes of God than the man who was given half his soul from God, where the woman got half her soul from the man, which is already half. So it's like a degradation. It's like a clone of a clone of a clone. And each time you do that, it gets degraded, the DNA, more and more and more. Well, in this case, it's not the flesh of DNA, it's the soul. So, this is why women naturally are more animalistic. They're more materialistic. Women care more about money than men do. This is a fact. Women care more about looks than men do. This is a fact. Women care more about hedonistic things than men do. They crave to be in control, where most men do not. I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, but my point is, overall, the generalization is women are more animalistic with their desires as far as not caring about how what they do affects anyone else. Women are very selfish in a lot of ways. And I'm sorry if you're a woman and you hate me now because I've said this, but this is in the Bible many times. There have been a few cases in the Bible where it said, and this woman was so righteous, she went to heaven. But it is not normal because most women cannot shake that. They cannot get rid of their animalistic part because it's stronger than the male's animalistic part. This is why God made the hierarchy where he says there's God, there is Jesus, then there is man, then there is woman, then there is children, then there's animals. Okay? The hierarchy. And the one below must follow the one above. So children are supposed to follow the mother, and the mother is supposed to follow the father, and the father is supposed to follow Jesus, and Jesus is supposed to follow God. It's a hierarchy because of righteousness. Because if you leave women to their own vices without men to guide them and teach them and control them in a lot of ways, then they will turn out to be very hedonistic entities. And God does not like that. He does not play like that. He did not create our species so you could be animals running around having gay orgies, doing drugs all day, hurting things. This is not why God created us. And if this is all we are going to become, he will destroy us. He has done it time and time again. In the Bible, numerous times, God has destroyed all of humanity. He has made humans. I read their every thought, and their every thought was wicked and evil. I can't allow this creature that I created, it's my responsibility, that I gave hyper intelligence to just straight up become this menace to the galaxy. Sorry, not going to happen. So numerous times, God has destroyed all of humanity, numerous times, for the bullshit that most people are indulging in right now today and their hedonistic endeavors. And for the most part, women are more susceptible to these. I'm not saying women are evil or women are bad, but women definitely have a much higher potential to go bad than men do. And guess what? When you have a force like feminism brainwashing the youth, the generation of young women, and even men too, saying, all the principles like, it's okay to be gay and trans, and you should be, and every woman should be a whore, and men should just have to accept it, and they shouldn't have a say, or blah blah blah, and da da da, and women should choose who gets gets hooked up, and women should choose when divorces happen, and blah blah blah. You gotta remember, man, all of this is not what God wants for us. Okay, This is so not what God wants, I'm telling you. So, I'm going to end it here. This is a really long video. I didn't mean to make it this long. I wanted to make it a quick, short video, but oh my God, there's just so many things that needed explaining. And I hope I had broken down to you and you now understand God better than anyone else, or better than you did before. And I just want you to know, if you are someone who thinks that I'm bullshit, or that God isn't real, or God is bullshit, religion is bullshit, I thought this myself too a long time ago, until a lifetime of seeking the truth finally revealed to me enough of the light that I could see everything. And I just like to say to you that I am the only human being to ever live that can perfectly calculate gravity, dark matter, and dark energy. That's it. I'm the only one. And I can explain everything perfectly. I can explain everything with the mysteries with everything that I've created. Whether I'm right or wrong, which I believe I am right 100%, you cannot deny me as being considered one of the most intelligent human beings to ever live, to come up with this construct that fits perfectly and has no antithesis. And in all of my infinite wisdom and intelligence and reckoning, I bow down to a higher authority of God. I have seen his hand working in some miracles in my life, and maybe I will make a video of those one day, but that's some really, really deep, dark shit that I don't think you guys are even ready for yet. But just know, I am Scientist Supreme, and I believe in God. I see how all the pieces fit together. Maybe you should too. And on that, farewell and amen.
Like, subscribe, submit.